You are now tuned in to the Chaotic Culture Podcast.
It's the KKP on your mother flipping airways. Hear the name ringing through the halls and the stairways. You were listening to a pod that can segue. All the latest topics guaranteed to fill your headspace. It's a safe place to voice your opinion. Say what you feel just like you're a kid again. Kid to pro and friends, black as obsidian. Chaotic culture, that's the world we living in. So what's the word?
And good morning, afternoon, and evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of the Chaotic Culture Podcast, the pod where chaos rules and black culture is elevated and supreme. The Chaotic Culture Podcast is brought to you by patreon.com. That is patreon.com/chaotic culture pod. Please be sure that you go and subscribe to the Patreon for bonus content, early episodes, and of course, to help keep the lights on. Once again, we appreciate your support. This is your boy Ked the Pro, aka the Calculated Millennial, aka the Encore presentation.
Can I get an encore? Do you want more?
AKA your favorite toxic adjacent king, Ked the Poet, Ked the Closer, all that good stuff. 843 is me, Baltimore's the place to be. Always chaotic, never toxic. And back again, once again, with your favorite black culture highlights and black culture shenanigans. So today, I'm going to try to keep this episode a bit light and also try to be timely with this. So this may be 30 to 45 minutes of even that. As you can see, I didn't do the entire intro because I really just wanted to get just a few things off and talk about a couple things that's going on in the world right now. So anyway, mental health check right now. I am gearing up for my brother's wedding. So shout out to Dr. Nika James and the soon-to-be Miss Kristen Crawford James. Much love there. It will be happening this Saturday, so I will get to witness a beautiful ceremony, and I'm hoping that all goes well, that the weather holds up, because it's supposed to be at a chapel that is outside in the mountains, so I'm hoping it ain't too cold, but I'm also hoping it don't rain, so there's that as well. But I think all is going to be well. That's what I'm hoping for. Anyway, it'll also be a chance to get to see some family that I haven't seen in a while, some cousins I haven't seen in a while, some extended family and bonus family that I haven't seen in a few years as well. So I'm looking forward to that. Otherwise, work is work. Still a pain in my neck, still a detriment to my body. But otherwise, it's nothing different. We go about it. We do what we can. We try to earn money and try to make a living out of it. But I definitely am looking forward to the break from work, because I'm only working 2 days this week. And then I'm back to my regular work schedule. The end of May, something different might be happening. We'll see what happens there. But anyway, yeah. In the meantime, just wanted to let everybody know that everybody seems to be doing well on the pod. Sappy is still doing well with school. Johnny's still lifting. Steve is Steve, of course. He's still doing Wake the Dead. He's still dropping off cars. He's still doing Inside the Mind of a Blurred. I have to see if we're actually about to record today. And yeah, I got to figure that out. I haven't heard from Law lately, so I'm hoping that things are going well with his position in the Navy. And that's really all one can ask for. So today's episode, just wanted to bring up a couple things that's been happening in the world right now, and then just to let you know what kind of music that I've been listening to lately. And I really wanted to do a music review this episode, but I realized I don't have a lot of time. So I may save that for next week's episode, where I actually do like an album review and then do a podcast episode. What I'm going to try and do is do like an album review and then maybe another album review within a podcast, or I might just keep the album review separate. It really just depends on how I'm feeling. I really, and I mean really, want to take this seriously as far as like being an actual music critic, especially for music that we create. So I really want to continue to post my opinions on that. And I hope that you all will take at least my knowledge of music seriously, and hopefully I will be able to deliver on your expectations. Yes, like you could say that I was inspired by some of the reaction community on YouTube, like when Screwface John, when he his hip hop reactions, or when Anthony Fantano does the needle drop and he reviews certain albums, like that kind of content really inspires me to do the same. And that's something that I really want to talk about. Like I said, Chaotic Culture is not really a music podcast, but music is a strong foundation of this podcast because one of my biggest loves and joys is music. And especially hip hop, especially black music, whether it be R&B, whether it be blues, whether it be rock, even whether it be just neo soul, which is technically R&B, whatever the case may be, like that is something that I truly enjoy. So that is something that I want to take seriously. So I will be doing some more album reviews, and hopefully, I'll be able to get a bigger audience. Who knows? If you haven't checked out my review of that P&D and Aubrey album, then I recommend that. Yeah, you can do that. That one was a chore to get through. So anybody that says that Some Sexy Songs for You is like a great R&B album, it's not. It's not even really a great album because, as I said before, 5 out of 21 songs were decent, not good, decent. And if you get 5 C's in an album full of F's, that album is still an F. I'm just saying. But also, I did a review for Megan's album. If you didn't see my reaction to Megan's album, of course, you have to join the Patreon. Also, if you wanted to see my reaction to G and X, you have to join the Patreon as well to check that out. And yeah, I'm going to be doing more of those where I will go live and then I'll actually post my reaction to Patreon and just keep it on Patreon because, of course, YouTube copyright and whatnot, and it won't let you actually like react to an album unless you are making the big bucks here. And unfortunately, I am still a very, very, very small time YouTuber. So there's that. But that is something that I just really, really want to do. So hopefully, you will be here for that journey. And I would appreciate all your support. So please, when I drop album reviews, please check it out on Patreon. Excuse me, something got in my eye. But yeah, definitely, if when I do these album reviews and when I do these album reactions, please, please, please subscribe to the Patreon. That is going to be part of the bonus content that you will be getting is my album reactions whenever I get the opportunity. So as far as like the music that I've been listening to, obviously, I definitely checked out Ray Vaughn's album because I'm a TDE guy. Of course, I had to listen to it. I definitely checked out Coco Jones extended, not I won't say extended album. It's the deluxe edition of her album, so I definitely checked that out and had a great time. Except for like maybe 1 or 2 songs, but Coco did her thing. Yes, she did, and I won't let anybody tell me any different. I also finished the 7 piano sketches from Andre 3000, and I mean, it's relaxing. That's really all I can say. I also had listened to an album called Wonder Love by Chase Shakur, which is, dropped in February, and it was cool. Some things I liked about it, some things I really didn't like. But yeah, I also listened to Samara Sin's album from last year, The Drive Home. I completed that. And there's some more music that I have on my docket that I'm getting prepared to listen to. So hopefully you guys will join me on those reactions. Well, also, I want to be sure that I give you this update because we are bringing back Music Roundtable. And I know we haven't done it in such a long time, but we need to. I had initially said that we were going to do one for T-Pain, and we still need to do that. But we're also going to be doing some older artists as well. Someone had mentioned to me Stevie Wonder, especially because this is Stevie Wonder's birthday at the time of this recording. And so I definitely want to review Stevie Wonder's discography. I want to do Earth, Wind, and Fire's discography. Whew, that's going to be a chore. There are a lot of Black artists out there that have an extended discography that we've got to get through and that we've got to grade. So I even want to do Prince's discography. And yeah, I did Janet, so I might as well do Michael's too, but we'll get there when we get there, I guess. So yeah, I there's a lot of music that I want to rank and critique and talk about, and it's a lot, man. So hopefully we'll be able to get that done pretty soon here. I will have to call the team as far as like the music roundtable. And then there's still some hip hop music roundtables that we still haven't done. We still haven't done Jay-Z's discography. We did Lil Wayne's. We did most of Kendrick's, but we did that as like a whole big TDE thing. We also did like a whole Dreamville thing with J. Cole. Do I want to do Drake's discography? Not necessarily, but I will for the culture. So I said that I was gonna get a couple people on here and we would actually rank Drake's discography. Maybe. Don't put a pin in that. Don't quote me on that. I'm still debating on whether I want to do that or not because listen, right now Aubrey is just not in my good graces, but just because of that whole daggone lawsuit. And trust me, I know it's been a year since the battle. I actually was watching a whole lot of reviews about, 1 year later, how the battle has aged and whatnot. And when I tell you, I went back and I listened to Family Matters, and that shit has aged terribly. And then when you look at videos about rhyme scheme and ideas and angles, Family Matters was not a good diss. And anybody who tells you that, no, it's a decent song, but it's not a good diss. I would much prefer push-ups. At least push-ups was, surface level, yes, but at least push-ups was something. But Tailor Made and Family Matters did not age well, and the Heart Part 6 definitely didn't age well. As a matter of fact, I ain't even calling that bullshit the Heart Part 6. Like the true Heart Part 6 is Kendrick's on GNX. But anyway, that being said, I eventually will more than likely have the Aubrey's Angels here to do Drake's discography, as long as they can be honest with themselves and not delusional about his work. Because as I said before, after Scorpion, his work and his albums take a nosedive for me. But we'll get there when we get there, if we get there. Anyway, in the culture right now, I definitely wanted to talk about this one thing. And if y'all know what that one thing is, that is, of course, Daystar Peterson, aka Tory Lanez, getting stabbed. Now, this kind of popped up on not the Twitter timeline for me, but it popped up on the the blue sky or the skyline. I have to bring this up. I'm gonna bring up this ABC News one as far as the article itself, and then you guys can read along because yeah, this is quite interesting. And I mean, you can call it what you want. I'm gonna call it karma, but that's just how I see it. Anyway, give me 1 second while I get my screen up, and we will share it here. Let's read this article. Tory Lanez was hospitalized on Monday after a fellow inmate at the California Correctional Institution in Tehachapi. Tehachapi. I think that's how you say it. In Tehachapi, or Tehachapi, but I want to say it's Tehachapi, attacked the rapper at around 7:20 a.m. local time, a spokesperson for the prison told ABC News. Staff immediately responded, activated 911, and began medical aid. Peterson was subsequently transported to an outside medical facility for further treatment, the spokesperson said. The rapper, whose legal name is Daystar Peterson, is serving a 10-year prison sentence for shooting and injuring fellow hip-hop star Megan Thee Stallion, whose real name is Megan Pete, in July of 2020. The prison spokesperson did not provide further comment when asked about the nature of Peterson's injuries, whether he has been released from the hospital, or whether a suspect has been charged in the attack. However, the rapper's verified Instagram account shared a post to his story saying, Tory was stabbed 14 times, including 7 wounds in his back, 4 to his torso, 2 to the back of his head, and 1 on the left side of his face. Both of his lungs collapsed, and he was placed on a breathing apparatus. He is now breathing on his own. Despite being in pain, he is talking normally, in good spirits, and deeply thankful to God that he is pulling through, the post continued. He also wants to thank everyone for the continued prayers and support. I'm going to put a pin in that, because if both of your lungs collapsed, how are you still speaking? How are you still talking? Even if you're breathing normally, I would like to think that it would take you a while for you to start talking again. But I'm not a medical expert. I just think that that's really crazy that both of your lungs collapse and you're talking normally. I don't know. It seems like a lot of cap in that little statement, but again, this is Tory Lanez's Instagram story, and if y'all been paying attention to the whole situation between him and Megan, his Instagram and his internet persona have like persona, excuse me, everything on his accounts has been filled with a lot of cap. Like he was trying to spin the narratives on the internet and trying to win the court of public opinion instead of trying to win in actual court. And that's what I've said about Daystar from day one about this case, is that the dude was not trying to actually win in court. He really just wanted to win the court of public opinion and try to turn everybody against Meg. Now this happens. Listen, what goes around comes around. What goes up must come down. That's all I'm going to say to that. Crystal Morgan, an attorney representing Peterson, confirmed to ABC News on Monday afternoon that the rapper was attacked at the correctional facility and remains hospitalized. Morgan said that she had not been able to obtain any information about his condition and was in the dark like everyone else. Morgan added she called Peterson's family to notify them of the attack. The prison's investigative services unit and the Kern County District Attorney's Office launched a probe into the incident, while the Office of the Inspector General has been notified, the spokesperson said. ABC News has reached out to the DA's office for additional comment. Peterson was found guilty on December 23, 2022 of 3 charges for shooting and injuring Pete in both feet as they left the party in the Hollywood Hills on July 12, 2020. He was initially charged in October 2020 with 1 felony count each of assault with a semi-automatic firearm, personal use of a firearm, and carrying a loaded, unregistered firearm in a vehicle, according to charging documents obtained by ABC News. He was also charged ahead of his trial in December 2022 with an additional felony count of discharging a firearm with gross negligence. Lanez, who chose not to take the witness stand during the trial, pleaded not guilty to all 3 charges. His defense attorneys argued during the trial that Lanez was not the shooter, and he has maintained his innocence in multiple social media posts since his sentencing last year. During his sentencing hearing, prosecutors read an impact statement from Pete, who testified during the trial, in which he called for Peterson to be forced to face the full consequences of his heinous actions and face justice. He not only shot me, he made a mockery of my trauma. He tried to position himself as a victim and set out to destroy my character and my soul, Pete said in her impact statement. Peterson was denied bond by a Los Angeles County Superior Court judge on September 14, 2023, and as his legal team appeals his 10-year sentence. So, yeah. Biggest news in the culture is that, Daystar Peterson got stabbed. Again, I am not questioning the validity of the attack. I'm questioning the validity of the recovery and the actual injuries that he suffered, because apparently he got stabbed 14 times, 2 collapsed lungs, and you're talking. That is a little suspect to me. I don't know about y'all. That part is suspect to me. The getting stabbed part, I'm not questioning, because at this point it's been reported that there was an attack. Far be it from me, to judge what happened. I'm not saying the incident didn't happen, because clearly it did. I'm just saying, well, did he really suffer 2 collapsed lungs? Because that's kind of crazy for you to be talking if your lungs collapsed. But that's just me. I don't know how y'all feel about it, but obviously Daystar was trying to, in my opinion, he was trying to pull and trying to control the narrative that he was a victim in all this, that he's innocent, and that Megan was making up stories and whatnot. But from what I understand of this case, is that Daystar was the aggressor, and whether it was him or whether it was Megan's former best friend, whatever the case may be, Megan was still the victim here, and we cannot discredit that. No matter what was said in this case, all the evidence pointed to him being the guilty one. Either he was drunk and did it, or he was in his right mind and did it, or the best friend did it, but he was still an accomplice in that. And yeah, that's all I got to say about that, is that I am on Megan's side. And if y'all got a problem with that, I mean, it is what it is. But still, I've said that on the podcast before, that I take Megan's side and that I believe the woman, and Daystar is getting the justice he deserves. Now, a lot of people, especially on that Facebook app, for whatever reason, they go hard for this man as if he makes like the greatest music in the world. Wasn't nobody talking about Tory Lanez music when this incident happened. I promise you. I wasn't deep in. There was a few songs that he had out there, but was nobody talking like it, like he was making masterpieces. Let's be real with ourselves. Let's be really, really real with us. And hold on, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop because I want to get up in the camera. I just want to say, I want to say this to y'all. Y'all were not looking for Tory like that until this incident. No, you weren't. You weren't listening to any of his music like that. No, you weren't. Don't lie to yourselves. Don't do it. Do not do it. You were not checking for him. You were not listening to him. You only took his side because, for whatever reason, you have misogyny and you want to attack black women, no matter what the case may be. And you always think that the system is holding a black man down, even though, in this case, the black man was clearly at fault. Don't get me wrong. The system is injustice and prejudice against the black man. But in this case, Daystar got what he deserved. So don't come to me. Don't you dare come to me talking about some Daystar is innocent and that Tory's innocent. No, he did that shit. And if he didn't, Kelsey did. And for whatever reason, he took the fall for her. But whatever the case may be, Meg is the victim here. And Tory got what he deserved. And that other chick, I think Kelsey her name, I think I said that right. Her day coming too. Because that's how karma works. Anyway, let me stop. But I just wanted to get that out because that's clearly what's been happening in the culture lately. That has really been the biggest news, other than the fact that our favorite person to talk about on this pod, apparently, Diddy, his trial is beginning. So I wanted to pull up that article too, because oh man, I really don't know what to say about this, but yeah, I'm gonna pull up the NPR article because Cassie did take the stand against Diddy, and let's just say the stuff that I heard, this is rough. It is rough. On top of the fact that Cassie is currently pregnant right now, so God bless her for that. But yeah. Also, trigger warning for those who have suffered from sexual abuse or sexual assault of any kind. Just be mindful that the article that I'm about to read from NPR does contain descriptions of physical and sexual violence. So if you are triggered by that, this would now be the time to skip ahead. But anyway, let's go ahead and bring up this article from NPR talking about the Diddy case. So, Cassandra Cassie Ventura, the ex-girlfriend of Sean Combs, took the stand on Tuesday morning, May 13th, as the star witness in the first full day of testimony in the federal trial against the hip-hop mogul better known as Diddy or Puff Daddy. Ventura, who is now 38 years old and visibly pregnant as she testified, described a tortured, decade-long off-and-on relationship that began shortly after Combs signed her to a 10-album deal with his Bad Boy Records label when she was a 19-year-old. I think that's ingenue. I have to look that word up. Hold on a minute. Sorry, I gotta look this word up. Well, I got the pronunciation right. Ingenue. Or ingenue. Yeah, ingenue. An innocent or unsophisticated young woman, especially in a play or film. Okay. I just learned a new word. During her testimony, Ventura accused him of physically and emotionally abusing her for years and exerting control over virtually every aspect of her life. She said that she recorded hundreds of songs that were never released and busied herself at his command in the recording studio, she said, but she only released a single mixtape in 2013. Most of her time, she said, was dominated by Combs' freak-offs, or FOs, drug-fueled multi-day marathons of sex with prostitutes that he orchestrated and directed. The FOs became a job where there was no space to do anything else but to recover and try to feel normal again, she said. Damn, man. Now I knew she was a victim of the freak-offs, but just reading that really just like, yo, bro, what? Good grief. During the episodes in which she described Combs allegedly physically assaulting her, she said he would knock me over, drag me, kick me, stomp my head if I was down. Good Lord. She also claimed that he domineered her, the way I looked, what I was working on that day, who I spoke to. She said he would also call her incessantly or have one of his employees call her repeatedly until she responded. At other points, she alleged Combs would send out one of his employees to locate her physically. Not intimidate her on top of that. On Monday, May 12th, the jury heard opening arguments and testimony from the first two government witnesses in the trial. Prosecutors are accusing Combs of racketeering and sex trafficking and of using his vast music, media, and lifestyle empire as a criminal enterprise to harm women and fulfill his sexual desires. Combs has pleaded not guilty to all the charges, and his defense team has presented him as a violent, troubled man whose actions did not match the government's allegations. So basically, the defense is trying to say that, okay, he did these things, but he's not inherently violent. What kind of defense? I mean, I guess at this point, you really can't like argue against the evidence. You can only try to paint the picture to the jury and to the judge that you are not as violent as you seem and that you're a well-meaning guy, that you may have some issues. I'm surprised he didn't plead insanity. Not that that would work. I'm just saying I'm surprised he didn't do it. But still, in her opening argument, prosecutor Elizabeth Johnson sought to head off the possible defense that Combs was having a consensual relationship with the women. This case is not about a celebrity's private sexual preferences. It's about coercive crime, she said. She pointed in particular to allegations that Combs trafficked his ex-girlfriend, the singer and model Cassie Ventura, who is testifying under her nickname, and also to accusations involving another former girlfriend who will testify under the pseudonym Jane. Johnson described the freak-offs, or FOs, and said that Combs called himself the king. She also detailed several alleged instances of violence, including an alleged rape of Ventura and a 2009 episode in which Combs allegedly threw Ventura to the floor of an SUV and stomped repeatedly on her face, then hid her in a towel for days to allow time for her injuries to heal while she was monitored by his employees. She also accused Combs of blackmailing Ventura with graphic videos of her in sexual situations with dozens and dozens of prostitutes. Okay. Hold on, I gotta stop this. As someone who's not a survivor of sexual assault, this is crazy. This is absolutely insane. Like, dude, you were doing all of this? Wow. I can't really put into words how much this disgusts me. And I really can't describe how I'm feeling right now, because right now all I feel is anger. Like, how dare you? Like, if I were to, let me not, because I don't recommend violence. Let's just say that the feeling right now is that if I were to ever see Diddy on the street, whatever happens, happens because of how you've been treating black women, especially Cassie. And then how you've been treating black men too, because apparently you were doing this to men as well. And I know I've had multiple episodes talking about what Diddy has done and how he's pretty much victimized Cassie, multiple men, and multiple women. It's just still so mind-boggling and brain-racking to see and to actually view it in real time. This shit is crazy. Like, this is nothing that a normal person does, yo. I'm sorry. Like, this is clear insanity. This dude has issues. And I am so sorry to the men and women that have gone through these freak offs and had to suffer from abuse and from violence from Diddy, because this is crazy. They're going to be dealing with this for the rest of their lives. Allegedly, obviously, because this is what's allegedly in the case. We can't say that this happened for real and whatnot, but you know, we gotta use legal terms here. But goodness gracious. All right. Let me get back to the article because I want to read the rest of this. According to Johnson, Jane met Combs in 2020 and he soon introduced her to his freak offs. Jane allegedly began coordinating freak offs in hopes that Combs will grow their relationship, and that he would take her on trips. Combs allegedly held financial control over her, even paying her rent. During a fight in 2023, Johnson alleged Combs kicked down multiple doors at Jane's house and forced her into a freak off the same night. Whoa. Johnson also referenced another episode in which Combs allegedly sexually assaulted one of his employees. In her opening statement, Combs' defense attorney, Penny Garagos, or Herajos, I'm not sure if that is Hispanic or whatever the case may be. I'm going to say Garagos. Defense attorney Teddy Garagos said that Combs was a jerk and mean, that he had a bad temper and issues with drug use. She also acknowledged that there have been episodes of domestic violence and assault in toxic relationships, but she argued none of those were what the government had indicted Combs for, and that all of his relationships were consensual. Garagos calls the dozens of civil lawsuits filed against Combs money grabs. In the afternoon, the jury heard from the first two witnesses in the case, beginning with Israel Flores. Flores, who is now an officer with the Los Angeles Police Department, was working as a security guard at a Los Angeles hotel where Combs attacked Ventura in 2016. Flores testified that he was called to address the couple. He said that Ventura had a purple eye, that he saw Ventura trying to leave the hotel, and that Combs initially would not allow her to depart. Flores said that he asked if she needed assistance, but that she refused to call the police or answer any questions. According to Flores, Combs held up a large wad of cash, which he interpreted as a bribe. Flores said he declined to take the money. Last year, CNN obtained and aired surveillance video of that attack in which Combs kicked, dragged, and shoved Ventura. After CNN aired the footage, Combs delivered a video apology on Instagram, which has since been removed from the social media platform. During Flores' testimony, the jury saw footage from multiple angles of that same hotel incident. The second witness called by prosecutors was a man named Daniel Phillip, who alleged that Ventura gave him large sums of money on numerous occasions between 2012 and 2014 to have sex with her while Combs watched. He also testified that he saw Combs violently attack Ventura on multiple occasions, that he did not intervene because he feared for his own safety. Yikes. That's all I can say is yikes. Like, I'm trying to describe this, but I cannot imagine myself reacting that way towards women, violently attacking them, assaulting them, sexually assaulting them, and holding that kind of power. I know absolute power corrupts, absolutely, but just seeing this in real time is absolutely insane. And again, I said I was keeping this episode brief, so I'm really about to get out of here in a few minutes. But just seeing that, reading that article, and we haven't even really got to the racketeering part and the trafficking part, because clearly, or we got to a little bit of the trafficking part, but there's more people out there that have to testify, because oh my God. And the fact that his kids, I mean, obviously that's their father, so they're trying to stand up for him. But if I found out that one of my parents was doing this, I don't know how I would feel. Would I still love them? Yes, because that's my parent. But I would be looking at them sideways until Sunday, like, yo, you got to pay for what you did. You have to admit some form of responsibility. And it's clear that the defense attorney is just like, okay, yes, these things happen, but that's not what was being charged. Everybody that's been testifying has not shown, I guess, clear proof of a RICO. But this is just from what I've been hearing, that's kind of really the only thing that they can do, is because it's too much evidence against Diddy at this point. He's clearly did this shit. Allegedly. But still, I just couldn't imagine being in that position. And maybe just because I'm a good person and I'm a kind-natured soul. So I would never put myself in a position to assault anybody like that. I just don't have it in me, man. That's cruel. It's disgusting. It's just bad on all counts all around. But then again, I'm not a billionaire. And maybe money corrupted him, or maybe he's always been like this even before the money. We used to talk about all the time how Diddy was just a snake at being a mogul. But it's clear he was more than just that. It's clear that he's more than just a sexual deviant. This man has literally been assaulting people. I, all I can really say is, wow. Wow. Anyway, what I just want to leave with you, the audience, is that please, 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 whatever you do, don't get caught up in situations like this. Please, 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 no means no. Respect boundaries. Consent flows only. Whether you're having sex with man or woman, or they, thems out there, please, please, please consent. And then don't do anything that they don't consent to. Because according to this lawyer, all of this was consensual. Or maybe it's just that the victims were too afraid to say anything. Maybe they didn't consent to that, but because of the power that he held and that he currently held, they were too afraid to say anything. And I can't say that I would do anything different if I was put in that position where if I was being assaulted by him, you know, I would probably be afraid to say something too, just because of the power that he holds. If you've seen the reality show of Making the Band, you would know just how cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs this dude really is in the head. But to see this play out in real time in his actual relationships, I can only imagine what Kim Porter went through. God rest her soul, because he put Cassie through that. I can't imagine what he put Kim through. I can only speculate, and I don't want to do that, but the visions that I have in my head and the pictures that I have in my head, they're not good. And I wouldn't expect it to be good for him. So please, guys, one, please be sure that we are consenting when we do these things. And please, 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 like, don't fall into that cycle of violence, especially when it comes to sexual violence. Consent. Consent. These people are human. These women are human beings, not things, not sexual toys. They are human. Treat them with respect. Treat them as such. Please. I'm begging you, please. And as I take a sip of water, I think this is a good stopping point, because I still have to pack for this wedding. And so I want to make sure that I got all my stuff together, because I'm not really going to have that much time to pack on Wednesday and Thursday. All things considered, I work, 12-hour shifts. So it's really not, it's not going to be a lot for me to do. I don't have to pack that much, but I got to be sure that I'm ready. So in any case, guys, thank you for joining me for this episode. If you like this YouTube video, please be sure that you like the video, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. If you want to follow us, please be sure that you follow Chaotic Culture Podcast on Facebook at the name. You can also follow us on Instagram and Threads at Chaotic Culture Pod. You can follow us on X/Twitter at Chaotic Culture 1, and you can follow us on Blue Sky at chaoticculture.bsky.social. You can follow me, Ked the Pro, that's K3D the Pro, on all social media. You can follow Miss Sappy at Scratch14 on all social media. You can follow Jay at Lee Trey on all social media. You can follow Steve at Scuba Steve 1428 on all social media. You can follow Miss Nasa at I'm Nakasa on all social media. And you can follow Law at L.JR_96 on Instagram and Law96 _ on Twitter /X. With that in mind, guys, also, if you want to get this episode early, please be sure that you subscribe to the Patreon account. You, of course, can subscribe for as low as $3. That's patreon.com/chaotic culture pod. Once again, patreon.com/chaotic culture pod. We'll be having some more bonus content for you guys. So please be sure that you stay tuned. And I may even open up a Discord because, again, I definitely want to get it to Twitch. So with that in mind, look out for those. Look out for the Twitch channel. Look out for the Discord because I really want to start building the community for real, for real. And if I want to take this seriously, we got to start making moves. So with that in mind, guys, I'm not going to do the whole rundown just because I got to get going. But anyway, thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Chaotic Culture Podcast. So until next time, folks, remember, embrace the culture, chaos rules, be blessed, be safe, God is love, and I am out of here. Deuces.
So what's the word?
You are now tuned in to the Chaotic Culture Podcast. And